So there's a sandwich shop near our office in Oakland, California. During lunch times, I used to go there a couple times a week. I usually get their roasted turkey sandwich. These guys, they roast whole turkeys and carve the meat themselves, and then they spread cranberry sauce all over the top. It wasn't fancy, but it really hits the spot. So every lunch hour, the line goes out the door, but nobody really complained because the food is just delicious. And then the pandemic hit, and these guys had to close for a while. And now that they have reopened, things are not really the same. They're right in the middle of the city, so they rely on the office worker lunchtime crowd, and most of these office towers are still mostly empty. Last time I was there, the restaurant had maybe 1 or 2 employees working there, other than the couple that runs it. It was really sad for me personally to see, because I know it's going to take a long time for the business to recover for them. I am sure you have seen similar examples in your community with businesses struggling. My company works with financial institutions to speed up small business lending using AI and automation. So we really see firsthand the big impact COVID-19 had on small businesses and how small business lending has been going. In many states, the shutdown happened back in March, and most states have reopened to some extent, but the pain is really not over yet. The consumers, they do feel a big impact because there were furloughs and there were layoffs, but many small businesses have been really devastatingly impacted, first by the shutdown, and then even when they are allowed to reopen, their customer traffic have not really fully recovered. Back in March, everyone expected massive numbers of small businesses to close. Now that we're 7 months in, we've learned a lot about the types of businesses that are likely to close versus ones that tend to survive. The business review site Yelp has published a recent report in September showing the outlook for businesses, particularly from impacts from business closures. As of August 31st, they have seen 163,000 businesses in the US close since the beginning of the pandemic in March. So this was a big increase. In the beginning, most of the business closures were temporary, with April showing a peak of 140,000. Then month by month, the temporary closures have come down, and by August, it's only at 65,000. On the other hand, the permanent closures have been increasing every single month. So by August, 98,000 small businesses have closed permanently. When you look at the total closures, what's interesting is that you start at 180,000 business closed in April, and then it keeps going down until July, then starts climbing back up again. This seems to show that many businesses were forced to close during the lockdown. Then they reopened again, but many were struggling and just did not fully recover. And at some point, they had to shut down for good again.